licensed Unity teacher and minister candidate. Welcome along to Unity of Melbourne, Deb.
Thank you, and thank you very
Good to
much for
see you.
having me here. I'm just going to share a slide. Today's talk is a little different. It's actually a fun talk. So,
Oh, good.
you know,
Okay.
you'll take out of it what you need. And I just wanted to say, William, I certainly it was a beautiful poem, and unwrapping those gifts is what we're doing today. So your poem could have almost been my talk. So it was beautiful. Thank you. I'll just share
Thank
those
you.
slides. And here we go. Can we all see that now? Yep, we should
Yes.
be there. Great, fantastic. So, good morning. How many of you loved Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as a kid? You know, that book by Roald Dahl, and then there were a few movies made. Well, today we're going to take this fun tour about looking at that story through new eyes, because it turns out it really wasn't about chocolate after all. Who would have thought, right? It's about conscious partnership. But seriously, picture Charlie just getting that golden ticket, that one chocolate bar, that one shot, and boom, the magic happens. While everyone else is frantically buying bars by the hundreds, little Charlie gets his one bar and wins the whole thing. Well, we all want to be that person, right? Now, I know someone, true story, who collected a room full of winning tickets, actual winning prizes like $5, $10, $20, real money. And there was like no overlapping on this wall. I actually saw this wall and I couldn't believe it. Just absolutely covered in winning tickets. Not the big, big one, but I was thinking, what was the universe saying there? And the universe was saying, you're connected, you're winning. But are you ready for the factory tour? Are you ready to stop collecting spiritual experiences and start partnering with the source itself? Because here's Emily Katie's secret that changed everything. And just stay with me here. You don't earn the golden ticket. You recognize you are the golden ticket. Emily Cady, in her foundational Unity text, Lessons in Truth, revealed what she called the secret that changes everything. You are not seeking to become one with God. You already are one with God. The search is over. Now it's about recognition and expression. And her radical insight, we don't earn divine partnership. We awaken to the partnership that already exists. Ready to explore more? Well, we go on the factory tour metaphorically through the eyes of the story, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There were five golden ticket winners. And Emily Cady, through discovering that secret that you don't find the golden ticket, you recognize you are the golden ticket. So we're not trying to get into the chocolate factory. Consciousness has already invited you in. The question is, will you accept the invitation you've already received? So, with our five golden ticket winners, they enter the factory, and immediately we see five different ways people naturally access consciousness. Wait for it, they're all valid, but they all have their limits without partnership with Divine Source. First, we might look at Augustus. Who remembers Augustus diving straight into that chocolate river? Splash! He's accessing consciousness through his rich sensory experience. Oh, the Ferraris of life, right? He wants to taste the divine, feel the abundance. There's nothing wrong with that. We all find God in nature, in the perfect meal. Augustus knows life should be abundant, but glug, 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 he gets swept away. Augustus was trying to consume divinity. Emily Cady taught, you cannot get more of God because God is already fully present as you. The chocolate river isn't something to grab. It's something you already swim in, that infinite field of potential possibility. And Augustus' limitation, He didn't recognize he was already in divine substance. He was already a part of that. Emily Cady reminds us that God, the invisible substance out of which all visible things are formed, though unseen by these mortal eyes, is all around us, waiting to come forth into visible manifestations. And that is from Lessons in Truth, the chapter in Statement of Being. So our next golden ticket winner was Violet. And who remembers that scene? When Violet grabs the gum, she wants transformation and she wants it now. She wants that instant breakthrough. She reminds me of Paul on the Damascus Road, that sudden dramatic change. She gets it. Consciousness can transform us rapidly. And I personally had experiences where consciousness has well and truly had rapid transformation for me. But when we watch, she inflates, turns blue, becomes rigid. Transformation without partnership with divine source just inflates the ego. Violet wanted to become something new. But when we listen to Emily Cady's secret, you don't need transformation to be divine. You need recognition. You already are. Violet was inflating because she was trying to become what she already was. True transformation is recognition, not achievement. Emily Cady from How I Use Truth stated, one is a following after Christ, which is beautiful and good as far as it goes, but it's always very imperfect. The other is letting Christ, the perfect Son of God, be manifested through us, that very partnership. Now, our next golden ticket winner, Veruca. Veruca demands her golden goose. She is the manifester. I want it now. And honestly, Jesus did say, ask and you shall receive. Veruca understands we're meant to prosper. Fillmore was revolutionary teaching this. Wanting good things isn't spiritual weakness. But Veruca was demanding from the outside what Emily Cady taught is already within. All that the Father has is already yours. The secret? Stop demanding provision from God and start recognizing you are the expression of infinite supply. And where did Veruca go? Down the chute, because she hadn't discovered Katie's secret. Divine abundance expresses as you, not to you. And here's a real story. I know somebody that was trying to align the perfect timing for a move, and they were getting really frustrated, throwing their hands in the air, and they just wanted to quit. They wanted to move interstate back with their family. And after talking it through, they surrendered the timeline. They went back to work. Then one Sunday morning a few weeks ago, out of nowhere, they just get this nudge, that connected moment, submit your resume to the place they heard about in January. Now, this place they heard about in January was in the state they were already in, not in the state they wanted to get into, but they did it anyway. They listened to that guidance and put their resume in. The next morning, they had a phone call. By the Wednesday, they had a job offer and the interview, and it went perfectly. It ended up being exactly where they wanted to move to. More money, company car, expense card, perfect provision. But only when they stopped being Veruca, demanding on their timeline, and started partnering with divine timing. Emily Cady reminds us, desire in the heart for anything is God's sure promise sent beforehand to indicate that it's already yours in the limitless realm of supply. And that's from Lessons in Truth. Now, our next golden ticket winner was Mike TV. Aptly named, of course. Mike loves TV in the original film and then technology. Mike shrinks himself in that TV room. He wants to understand the mechanics. How does this work? How does the divine consciousness actually happen? Like Ezekiel, those wheels within wheels, spiritual technology. Modern channelers work this way. Understanding consciousness operates through frequencies and vibrations, they say. And there's lots of ways to access this spiritualness, I call it. Some people might term this esoteric, but I just like the term spiritualness, whether it be from books on channeling Jesus or channeling through clairvoyance or oracle readings or wisdom cards, divination, and more. A little like spiritual technology. It's not right or wrong, but it has its limitations, like Mike TV discovered. He actually gets smaller instead of getting bigger. When we only intellectually analyze without reverence for that mystery, we actually diminish. Mike wanted to understand the mechanics. Emily Cady would say, you can study truth forever, or you can be truth now. You can study truth forever, or you can be truth now. Her secret changes everything. We're not trying to learn about divine consciousness. We're learning to recognize we are divine consciousness expressing. And Emily Cady said it beautifully, to educate from educare to lead forth never means to force into from the outside, but always means to draw out from within something already existing there. And that's why I personally love unity classes and groups, discussions and service talks. It draws out that which is already within me, wanting to express outward. And did you know you can sit in on any class as a guest at any time? Anytime you feel the need. And our next ticket holder, Charlie. Charlie in the glass elevator. Charlie's got that receptive partnership consciousness. He's naturally collaborative, naturally listening to divine source, that one power, one presence. He embodies Emily Cady's secret perfectly. He's not trying to become worthy. He already knows somewhere deep inside that that partnership's his natural state. When he returns the everlasting gobstopper, he's expressing what Cady taught. Act from your divine nature and divine outcomes flow naturally. So here's a real story, and it's one of my favorites. Somebody I know was just having this ordinary day and they had to go for a blood test, and they're next in line in the queue, and this really flustered person arrives. And they step aside and they go, you go ahead. And then a stressed mum turns up and her mum's watching the kids and she's really stressed about it. And so this person goes, please, you go first. Then another person rushes in. They've got the tradesperson waiting at home. It's almost like the universe just lined them up. And they went, no, you go first. And then finally it was their turn. And after walking home, they get this nudge, take the bus. They were sort of started walking home, but they got that nudge, take the bus. So they go to the bus, and on the bus seats, this brand new pack of cigarettes. And they think, oh, my elderly neighbor smokes that. So they pocket them, getting on the bus, and then they get off, and there's their distressed neighbor. They'd lost their smokes. They can't afford another pack. And out comes perfect provision. You left them on the bus seat. That is glass elevator consciousness. When we're in receptive partnership, generous, following those nudges, we become instruments for divine consciousness to serve others. And Emily Cady speaks into this. The moment that anyone really comes to recognize that which is absolute truth, namely that one spirit ever lives at the center of all human beings, they will know that they can cease forever from undue anxiety. From Lessons in Truth, the chapter on unity of spirit. So in the story, Charlie inherits a chocolate factory and ascends the glass elevator. And here's where Emily Cady's secret becomes crystal clear. Charlie doesn't ascend to something to become something he wasn't. He ascends to express what he already was. Katie's revolutionary teaching, you're not climbing towards God. You're recognizing God as expressing as your life right now. We're not trying to become spiritual. We're not trying to get into the chocolate factory. We already are spiritual. We're already in the chocolate factory. The search is over. It's about recognition and expression. And Katie said, you cannot get more of God because God is already fully present as you. Stop trying to collect proof of connection and start realizing you are the connection. And when we look at that, think about that wall of winning tickets, Emily Katie would say they're already partnered with divine abundance. They just hadn't recognized the ultimate truth. They didn't need to collect more proof of connection. They were the connection. And that generous person at the blood test, they were living Emily Katie's secret, acting from their divine nature of love and generosity and divine outcomes, that perfect timing, the blessing just flowed naturally. They weren't trying to be spiritual, they were being their spiritual nature. And the job seeker discovered Emily Katie's secret through surrender. Stop trying to make divine will happen and recognize divine will is already unfolding as your life. The moment they just stopped trying to orchestrate and started recognizing the divine intelligence already at work. Perfect provision appeared, far better than they could have just orchestrated themselves. So here's Emily Katie's truth, woven through our chocolate factory journey. Augustus, Violet, Veruca, Mike weren't disqualified because they weren't worthy. They were limited because they hadn't yet discovered what Emily Katie was saying. They were trying to get divine connection instead of recognizing they already were divine connection. Charlie won because he lived from the secret, acting from his divine nature of generosity, receptivity, and partnership. He didn't become worthy of the factory. He recognized and expressed the worthiness that was already his nature. Partner up for the win. You already are in the partnership. That recognition of the partnership is your currency. And Wonka's final secret to Charlie, I needed someone who understood that sweetness multiplies when it's shared. Not someone perfect, not someone who never made mistakes, just someone ready to partner. And isn't that the truth in all our relationships when we partner with divine source in everything we do, in our relationships, in all ways of expressing in our life, expressing as source, what a difference it makes. Your golden ticket isn't your reward for spiritual achievement, it's your recognition of spiritual truth. You already are the partnership. You already are the chocolate factory. You already are the glass elevated consciousness, the conduit, whether you call that Christ consciousness, divine mind, or universal intelligence. It's already expressing as you, breathing as you, living as you. The only question remaining is, will you recognize it? Will you express it? Will you live from Emily Katie's secret that changes everything? Because when we do, when we stop trying to become spiritual and start recognizing we already are spiritual, the entire universe becomes our chocolate factory, and every moment becomes that glass elevator ride. Emily Katie's teaching is a golden thread running through this entire talk, the secret that reframes everything from striving to recognition, from becoming to being, from earning to expressing. Remember, partnering up for the win is your currency, that perfect moment, that perfect provision, that perfect opportunity. Now let's express it together. Your golden moments are happening right now in your willingness to let others go first, to follow those gentle nudges, to surrender your timeline to something larger. The chocolate factory isn't somewhere we visit. It's the consciousness we already are. And are we ready to recognize that glass elevator perspective? Because our divine nature is waiting for us to stop searching and start being. And I know that's a really different take on the story, but it's a very interesting way of bringing Emily Katie's teachings into our reality. So let's just take that for a moment into meditation. Let's just close our eyes and just take a few deep breaths in and out. Breathing in that divine consciousness. Breathing out any limitations, any thoughts we need to let go of. Imagine a golden ticket resting in the palms of your hand. You feel the weight of this golden ticket. It's been waiting for you, not because you earned it, but because it's always been yours. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe, feel the golden energy of this ticket warming your hands. This isn't any invitation, it's the invitation you've been waiting for your entire life. Now, gently begin to open your golden ticket, breaking that seal, unfolding the paper, revealing what's inside. And as you open it more fully, you notice something extraordinary. The ticket is showing you something more. It's showing you a reflection, like a golden mirror. And in that mirror, you see yourself. Emily Katie whispers, "You are a divine partnership. You've always been expressing through you, as you. Your connection is divine currency." Breathe that in. You are the divine partnership, expressing, breathing, living right now. Feel how that changes everything. The places that you were trying to get into, you're already standing there. The divine consciousness you were trying to reach, it's already expressing as you. The worthiness you were trying to earn, it's already your nature. Take another breath, and with this recognition, feel yourself beginning to rise, like Charlie in the glass elevator, up, 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 not going somewhere you've never been, but recognizing the perspective that's always been available. From this elevated view, look at your life with new eyes. Every moment you've been generous. That was your divine nature expressing. Every time you followed a nudge, that was infinite intelligence speaking as you. Every synchronicity, that was life reminding you who you are. Still holding your golden ticket, seeing your own reflection in it, know that I am already in partnership with Divine Source. I am divine consciousness expressing. How do I choose to live today? And I will leave you there to let that feeling, that knowing, settle into your body, into your breath. This is who you are in traffic, at the grocery store, in every conversation, in every choice. You are partnership. You are divine abundance expressing as you. And when you're ready, gently return to the room, bringing the reflections with you.